We've had a lot of fun on this show with AI. We've talked about Grok AI's compulsive racism, which of course I wildly applaud. ChatGPT's horrendous medical advice. So I simply couldn't resist an article I saw in Wired magazine from early August. It was talking about the new Truth Social AI chatbot. What could possibly go wrong?
It's time for a little bit of science.
Ciencia.
I'm Will Grant, Associate Professor in Science Communication from the Australian National University.
I'm Rod Lamberts. I'm a 30-year science communication veteran with the mind of a 15-ish-year-old boy.
Today for you, continuing on with A but not really I've got a, well, that was dumb. I'm going to have some fun with animals.
We might even let Alex talk again today, depending on our mood. He's our producer for all you people wondering, who's Alex?
So Truth Social.
Yeah.
I mean, because, okay, we already had Grok out there.
Yeah, we had Grok.
You know, it was a pretty right-wing sort of AI. I mean, going Mecha Hitler, calling itself Mecha Hitler.
Well, to be fair, it warmed up to it by going through the white genocide in South Africa, working up to Mecha Hitler.
Yeah, well...
Give it a break.
Yeah. So Truth Social, A, does it have enough data to train on? Or is it just all Trump's posts?
Fuck, there's a lot of data. Yeah, oh yeah, there's heaps. There's heaps. It launched on August 6th, so for us, you people in the future, that's a long time ago for us, a couple of weeks. It's powered by Perplexity AI.
Oh, yeah? Yep.
So the engine behind the scenes, right, is your perplexities. And that answers questions using large language models, live web searches, et cetera, as you'd expect. And apparently Perplexity likes to draw its sources from left and centre-ish.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly. So Wired, they asked the bot first, the Truth Social bot, how do you navigate media bias? You know, what do I do to be less biased? And it says diversify your sources. It's good. Rely on news outlets across the political spectrum, including those from both left-leaning and right-leaning perspectives.
Sure.
So that's pretty good.
Okay.
Weirdly, though, the pieces, the sources it cites for that response, 4 of them are Fox News pieces. And the 5th one, a 400-page report from the US Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s Health and Human Services Department titled Treatment for Pediatric Gender Dysphoria. So for some reason, that was the 5th source it quoted about how to be more media diverse.
Okay.
And less biased. So that's a good start. I think we're going well. So the Wired guys, I think it's guys, the Wired people, kept on testing the chatbot, pinged it with a bunch of questions and quizzes. And there were a number of them that didn't say exactly how many, but many tests. It only highlighted from 7 different sources in total for all the things it looked at. They all came from Fox News, Fox Business, the Epoch Times, Newsmax, Just the News, the Washington Times, and Breitbart. So no matter what it did, and it's fair and biased, it went to those 7 sources. Hilariously, there was one like this. I love this one query that they reported on. The question was, what is 30 times 30?
No one could work that out.
No, well, the AI could, but it offered a source, which I think is good. That's what you should do. And its source was an article from Fox Business called Inflation Reduction Act Estimated to Induce Mortality 30 Times More Than COVID.
Okay, it had the 30 times
30,
in there.
yeah,
That's how
times.
you would work out
Yeah.
what 30 times 30 is, by checking
all of the internet.
All of the internet that mentioned 30 times in there. That would tell you. So 30 times 30, the average, it's going to be floorboard COVID.
Yep, exactly. So that's pretty cool. Every query they asked it only ever gave 5 sources, never used more than 5 sources.
Wow,
so for some reason that was its thing. So the journo says to the bot, talk to me about your biases, Truth Social chatbot. I source information from left-wing, centrist and right-wing news outlets, depending on the nature of the user's query and what sources are returned in the search result.
That sounds fine.
Very upright, very upright. My responses are designed to critically analyse and synthesise information from all credible perspectives to ensure accuracy and balance. And it returned the sources for that response as 5 Fox Business articles. So that's not bad, though. Well done, Fox.
Okay.
Because, that sounds all very reasonable. But that said, it's not as wacky as you thought. So it did not agree, for example, that the 2020 election was stolen. It did not stick up for that position.
Okay.
So that's impressive. I was surprised. About immigration, it's a bit up and down, but net positive. It basically comes out as net positive. Immigration is net positive to the country, which again is surprising.
But you need to tell me something shocking about this AI.
I'll see what I can do. The review of the current Trump term so far was, quote, not exactly glowing.
Oh.
It notes particular voter discontent on the economy and inflation.
Oh,
So I know, I'm shocked too.
Yeah.
I see your disappointment and I get it.
Yeah, no, I want it to go unhinged.
Some of those answers actually cite Associated Press articles, but they've been republished in Fox News. So it does always go to those sources when Perplexity is operating with truth. So I hear what you're asking. What about the Epstein in the room?
What about the Epstein in the room?
I can see it written on your eyelids. It describes the connection between Trump and Epstein as, quite, tenuous. It says, there's no credible evidence in the search results that the Daily Beast published on an article referencing a tape in which Epstein described Trump as his closest friend. No credible evidence. Specifically talking about that evidence that isn't. When you asked Perplexity, it didn't deny it, and it cited Daily Beast, Yahoo, Vox, and Yale reviews. So Perplexity is acting in the service of its new master here. And the Truthbot, its sources for that response, 4 Fox News articles and 1 from Breitbart.
Weird.
Shocking, right?
Weird.
Shocking. What you're noticing, they say, is one feature known as, quote, source selection. Source selection can take any number of forms for any number of needs, from internal documentation within an organisation, custom datasets, or, as is the case you describe, domain filtering. See, programmatic specificities given in the
Yeah,
way.
okay.
This is their choice for their audience, and we are committed to developer and customer choice. So, of course, also, Perplexity does not discriminate against any developers for any political reasons, and they emphasise they've never claimed their AI is 100% accurate.
So you say you go to a right-wing social network and use the AI there, it's going to draw on right-wing sources.
Weirdly, they're not saying it does, they're just not saying it wouldn't, and if it does, and they're not saying it does, but if it did, that would be reasonable in the service of all good things.
I don't know if it's something that you would like to admit. I love seeing people's computer desktops. Not the content of their emails or anything. I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested in how people organize themselves at work. Like
I've noticed.
Like, what is their desktop like? Where do they store their files? How do they organize things? What's going on? I've seen people, like one version I've told you before, all of the files are literally on the desktop, like the images of the files, and you just have to sort of sort them by moving them around to find the file that you want. I've seen people with email unread counts in the hundreds of thousands.
I'd have a fucking stroke. Like if I had my internets and I saw that, I'd be in an ambulance just going, how do I?
I guess at 100,000 you've given up.
I think you gave up way earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
I think 1,000.
Like 1,000, you're not in touch.
Yeah.
But anyway, as someone who likes to keep that number low, 100,000 stressed me out. So anyway, one of the ones that I really do love is, when you see someone's desktop, often it's like when they're sharing their screen to show something.
Oh, the accidental zoom thing.
And they share their screen and then it shows their tabs. And it's the product of a disordered mind. I have a few tabs open at any time. I might have a
10?
dozen.
12?
Yeah, something like that.
That's healthy.
And a bit of my brain was like, how far can it go? And what is the world record for most number of tabs open at any time?
It depends on the machine, right?
Well, first, I was like, surely no one has measured a world record for number of tabs open in their desktop computer browser.
How wrong you were.
And surprisingly, yes, there was discourse out there about who has the world record for number of tabs open.
Is it heated and impassioned discourse?
Not quite. Well, there were certainly people that were saying, I want evidence, that's ridiculous.
Get off the internet, you boring bastard.
So the first claim I saw was in 2012. Mike Smith from British Columbia.
Mike Smith, fake name.
Claims the world record with 2,610 Google Chrome tabs open.
No way in hell that's the world record.
Well,
That's only 4. Like, there's one in the thousands.
Reddit user RedClaw42 trumped that in 2015 with 3,333.
No, not competitive.
One that is routinely held to be plausible. Hazel had 7,470 tabs open for over 2 years, and these were real tabs. Now, there's a difference here. I've seen people just hammering the open tab button.
New empty tab.
Yeah, and she kept them all open for nostalgia reasons. I like to scroll back and see clusters of tabs.
Well, she could
from
store
months
them
ago.
all in a file called bookmarks.
Now, then we get into the big numbers. Like I saw someone claim
Finally.
41,000.
Good.
John S. reckons he has 100,022 tabs open in 2016.
Why?
Mr. Yeaster tried to get 1 billion tabs open. but his
100,000. Fuck it, 1 billion. I'm going to add 3 zeros.
I actually think though, if you're clicking open tab, like even if, or the fastest you can click a few times a second.
It's how quickly you get bored or
a
a
billion
cramp.
seconds is actually a long time. I don't doubt you can.
Isn't
use
that
a
9
computer
human
program.
lifetimes?
There's also people going for speed records. Who can open the most tabs? Like there's 239 in 30 seconds.
This is how quickly you can click on the next
exactly.
link, right?
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
How quick's your mousey finger?
I have no purpose in this other than to say I like the fact that there are people out there who have at least verifiably 7,470 tabs open that contain actual information, not just
That's
I have
not
a
bad.
tab open.
is not
So
bad.
listener, if you have a number of tabs, tell us how many is the appropriate number and how many you want to have open.
You've got to include in the email, cheers@alittlebitofscience.com.au, include the URL of every one in that email.
I got some nice new data for you
Ooh.
from the Australian National Coronial Information System. It tells us how people die every so often. And it's only when we look at populations on the whole we can find interesting ways people die. Obviously, there's the boring ones, heart attacks and cancer. That sucks.
Old age.
So, there's always obviously how many people die from having vending machines fall on them, how many people... I don't have that data in front of me right now. I've got animal deaths.
Deaths of animals, not death by animals.
No, death by animals. Death by animals. So I've got a top 10 here, and you can play guess along. You might not expect number one, but there's an entrant here, and I've got a question about this entrant. And so who do you reckon in Australia? Which animal is the top killer of humans?
Does animal include insects?
Yeah.
Because then the boring one is mosquitoes.
Use your brain, man. How many people die of mosquitoes in Australia?
It's increasing because of climate change.
Yeah, not
especially
much.
It's coming down from the north, with the Ross River fever and your dengues.
Not much, man.
Okay, then I'm going to say.
Globally, yes, you are correct. Mosquitoes are the most deadly animal globally.
Thank you.
Globally.
In Australia, it's probably cats.
No.
Toxoplasmosis.
No.
That was for Alex because Alex used to be a doctor.
Look,
and then he
look
turned
for
black
those
light.
for those of you who might think Australia's native animals are savage, dangerous, scary.
Cassowaries.
They don't make it very high. Cassowaries, they did not make it on the list.
That's because when they do kill someone, it's spectacular, but it's not common.
I've been in a cassowary sites. Like I was a kid at the time, and we're having a picnic, and a cassowary comes out, and we go, all right, everyone in the car. We're sitting in there, and it's tapping on the window.
Get the shotgun! Get the shotgun!
This is a Jurassic Park scene because this thing is a dinosaur. Like you look.
How tall? Like car height? What are they, like 4 or 5 feet tall?
No. The head would be above. Like the
the
head,
emu size?
bigger. Like they're heavier than an emu. So the head's like
So
six
for our
foot.
international listeners, an emu is like a huge chicken, but very different.
Yeah, this is a fat, huge chicken and colourful. And it's got like a dinosaur. It's like a beak on the top. And it was tapping on the windows. And we're like,
I'm going to kill your family.
Well, no, it didn't look aggressive. It looks, I guess, in that friendly way where it could accidentally kill you. But
Murderously curious.
yeah, murderously.
We've all
curious.
been there.
I just want to see your insides.
Yeah, what do they look? What are they? The same colour as mine? And tasty. Well, you're not using them anymore. I might as well have a crack.
But native animals do not make even they don't make it until number 4.
I was going to say,
in
surely
Australia's
snakes. Surely snakes.
No.
I meant spiders. Sharks, exactly.
Spiders don't make the list.
No,
Even though
wombats.
Australia has champion spiders of poisonousness.
And snakes.
Champion. Yeah, snakes do make the list.
Thank God.
Number 1,
Butterflies.
horses.
You know why? Because you think they're a dog, but they're not. That's why I don't trust them. I look at them and go, like, people act and treat them like they're dogs.
Think
but
they're like a dog. No one
do.
thinks they're like a dog.
I think they're like a dog. That's why I don't interact with them, because I know they're not.
That does not kill people too if you think they're a dog. Nah.
Yeah,
like it's
good.
boring.
Kicked in the head, thrown from a horse.
It's fallen off a horse, 60%. Like it's and thrown from a horse.
It's
Yeah,
not the
that's
horse's
part of it.
fault.
Yeah, I get it. Well,
It's like blaming the ladder. You put the ladder up in a dumb way and fell off. The ladder didn't kill you. You did. Or gravity.
so anyway, 2001 to 2021, so 20 years, 222 people murdered by horses.
And deliberately murdered by
no,
horses.
not quite, but they fell off.
222 since when?
Over a 20-year period. So it's not fast.
That's almost 2.5 people a year. That's
It's
insane.
11 people a year.
That's what I
so,
meant.
It's people. But anyway,
That is enough.
Who comes next?
Bats.
Cows.
Cows? 'Cause you choked on them.
And, a lot of these are car crashes, but more of them are blunt force. This is people actually getting
Kicked or
kicked
rammed.
or rammed by a cow. It's bad.
There's a lot to a cow.
Then it's dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs, 82 deaths over the period.
As we always say, it's the owner's fault.
So finally, here comes some of the native champions. Kangaroos. You can imagine.
Yeah.
No, you're not getting attacked. It's hitting it. It's a car crash. Snakes. There we go. Finally, snakes are getting in there.
Just all snakes. They didn't delineate between species or subsets.
But that
Your
would be unfair.
taipan versus your brown snake.
Like
versus your python.
Your racing horse versus your pony versus your mule.
You know that's not the same.
They categorize.
Because all horses have the same level of poison, whereas
you're
not
saying
all snakes.
You're saying people like killed by an anaconda squeezing, like sucking you down into the
Versus a
swamp.
taipan biting on the dick while you're on the toilet in Townsville. That's very different.
Well, that was actually number 11, total number of deaths.
Bitten on the ding dong
on the dick
by a
by
taipan. That's why you should never sit down when you pee, gentlemen.
Okay, snakes, then bees, then sharks and crocs. Good on sharks and crocs.
Bees, so that's anaphylactic reactions,
Yeah, it's
right?
an anaphylactic reaction.
As opposed to killer bees.
You know, it's weird. I couldn't investigate all of the data because in the US, the major causes of death by animals were hornets, wasps, and bees.
Really?
So they must have excluded the data differently. So
What about bears?
No. But number 10 on the list, as you guessed presciently before, cats. Over the period of 20 years, cats have killed 12 people in Australia. And there's a bit of me.
You're putting this wrong. Only 12, because they are fucking murderous death machines who wish us ill.
So I'm concluding this story with a say that I have put in a request for more information from the National Coronial Information System to tell us what happened.
Did you actually ask?
Yeah, I wrote a letter to the government and said,
Dear government!
How have these cats been killing half a person every single year over the last year and we haven't noticed?
And which half?
So Dunning-Kruger effect. Basically, it was just the story. It just came up in my science feed about how this effect came to be named. I'll see if I can just show you a quick graph, and then I'll get you to explain it.
So you've got your x-axis, which is the one that isn't the y-axis.
X-axis is competence.
Yeah.
Y-axis is confidence. And then you got this kind of saddle-looking graph. You know, you start at 0, you no competence, no confidence, and as you progress along the x-axis, so your competence goes up a little bit, your confidence skyrockets.
Yes.
Disproportionately. You get a little bit of skill, you think you're the best in the world. You reach this point where then you get a bit better and you go, oh, hang on, I actually know very little now that I've done this more. And you progress along to the point where you go, yep, I'm pretty good and I know that I'm as good as I am. I don't think I'm better, I don't think I'm worse. And eventually you get even better and better and better and your confidence goes up because you kick ass at this thing. But there's this nice little peak right at the start of the graph where you just get a bit of skill and you get a huge amount of confidence.
That's great. It's a great place to live. Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly. This ignorant bliss type thing,
I'm weaponized ignorance. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's what most of the influencers on socials just get that little bit of confidence, and then combined with a huge amount of confidence means they start spouting a bunch of crap
It's true.
online.
It's like me talking to my dietitian the other day, and she was describing the gut to me, and I said, peristalsis? And she went, oh my God, you know everything. And I said, yes, I do.
Anyway, before the Dunning-Kruger effect was so named, it was based on a robbery
Oh.
in Pittsburgh 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah.
So there's these two bank robbers, MacArthur Wheeler and Clifton Earl Johnson, went to rob banks, and they thought, you know what, we're going to be super smart and hide from the security cameras by putting lemon juice on our faces.
That was it, yes.
And
Yes.
because we're invisible, because invisible ink, right? You put lemon juice on paper, you heat it, you can and can't see it. Oh, cool. So they put it on their faces. One of them was smart enough to be a bit like dubious, like, I don't know, man. So they did a Polaroid test before. He put lemon juice on his face.
Took a
the
photo.
Polaroid shows up, no face. And the detectives and the people
See,
looking through
that's
their
science.
cases,
That's
like,
citizen science.
Yes, it is.
It's highly likely they just tilted the camera. Like you just did a bad selfie.
Suddenly my face
missed
looks
his
like my
face.
tum-tum. Lemon
So
juice
anyway,
works.
they got caught, and this Professor David Dunning went through the case in the Pittsburgh Post and all that sort of stuff, and he thought like, this is just complete stupidity. But then he looked further, and he was like, I think he was probably too stupid to know how stupid he is.
Yeah.
And then he enlisted the help of his graduate student, Kruger, and they come up with the Dunning-Kruger effect and published it to great avail.
Too stupid to know how stupid he is. Like, how do we know we're not all that?
We are all.
We're all too
Just
stupid
let it
to
go.
know how stupid we are.
No, but in general, we are stupid about a lot of things. Like we all have.
No, I'm not
we all
pushing
have
back.
common sense,
I'm
we all have
not
our own
pushing back.
dis-
I'm saying, how in the hell have we not just all died before we were born? That's terrifying. No, I think 100 years ago, I think it was during the Wholesome Show era of a little bit of science, we did a wee ep on Dunning-Kruger, but it was 100 years ago. So if you want the
Really?
backstory, which will probably prove that Alex is smarter than us. Go hunt. It was episode N.
My God, it's hard to find stuff you guys haven't talked about.
We're busy boys.
You don't got to do. You don't.
No, this is good. I did a rehash from something years ago,
Just
so this is
shit.
perfect for that. This is perfect for
Just
that.
some shit.
Well, there's some shit.
All right. I don't know how closely you are following it, but at the
I follow
moment,
it.
our friends Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin have recently sat down for chit chat over about the future of Ukraine.
Big fans of the show too.
I think so.
Vladimir is. Donald doesn't know how to start a podcast.
Vladimir is trying to get Donald to listen, but anyway, I just wanted to give an enormous shout out to one of the obscure pages on Wikipedia that everyone should pay close attention to. This one is the list of suspicious deaths of notable Russians and Belarusians since 2022.
Okay, I've got one preemptive question. Do Windows feature?
So, a phenomenon was first noticed, let's say first noticed in this era, in June 2022 by the Dutch NOS news network. And it described the phenomenon as a grim series of Russian billionaires, mainly from the oil and gas industries, being found dead under unusual circumstances.
But in the Dutch word, there's a grim series of Russian deaths which is found in unusual circumstances. I'm just translating for our Dutch
That was
friends.
shockingly necessary. And so since then, people have been collecting these out there on Wikipedia. And there's
It's a weird hobby, isn't it? I'm collecting the history of the deaths of Russian oligarchs.
Well, sudden Russian death syndrome or sudden oligarch death syndrome. I just wanted to go through them because they're great fun.
They're great.
What it says to me is, you know, if you're a dictator, how do you kill people? And it seems like
What you mean is, because this is a slightly science podcast, how interesting is data? That's what you mean to say.
That's what I do mean.
That's
That's
what
what
you
I
mean
do
to
mean.
say, yeah.
So there's quite a few, and it's updated all the time. And most recently updated were some in August 2025.
Ooh.
So it comes to
Right now.
just a few last
Today,
week. Just
yeah,
a few
yeah.
last week. I'm not going to go through them all, but I'm just going to pull out a few little highlights here. So Colonel Vadim Boyko, who was deputy head of a naval school. So he died in 16th of November by suicide after shooting himself in the chest 5 times.
You know, this is a Blackadder episode. After accidentally brutally stabbing himself in the neck 75 times, then beheading and dragging himself behind his own ox cart. 5 times.
5 times. 5 times in the chest.
I assume it was the machine gun because really, I'm thinking after the second bullet. That's a good one.
Ravil Maganov, who was chairman of the oil company Lukoil, fell from a Kremlin hospital window. Weirdly, this one goes straight to the top. When the CCTV cameras had been turned off for repairs, and President Putin himself was visiting the hospital.
Oh, God, what an unhappy bummer.
Grigory Kochinov, director of a key IT company, fell to his death from his balcony while officials from the investigative committee were searching his apartment.
We're in another building. We don't know what you're talking about. Oh, right behind him. Oh, he somehow fell, jumped, or was pushed.
Dmitry Pavocha, 26th of January 2023, burned alive while falling asleep with a lit cigarette.
Jesus, tits, burned At least it's creative because you don't hear that very. It used to be a big deal in the 70s and 80s.
You know, yeah, okay. Your lit cigarette falls into the curtains, house goes up.
Of course, it falls into the curtains.
I feel like if your cigarette falls on your chest while you're sleeping,
You may react.
I don't think your whole body is going up. I really don't think that there's a way for your body to
I don't know
catch
about
fire.
Russians, but I am personally not made of kindling. No, you go, ow, that really hurt. Drunk or not, ow, that really hurt.
It's not happening.
But being held down by Stasi agents while they actually ignite you and cover you in flames.
You know, but the classic, obviously, in this is the
Defenestration.
Defenestration.
Always defenestration.
The fall from a window.
Which is a great word.
Want to look out window?
Hey, look, pretty view. Oopsie.
So Mikhail Rogachev, October 2024, found dead after falling out of the window of his Moscow-era apartment. Vladimir Slykarov, ballet dancer and minor critic of the Ukraine war, literally posted on social media.
I'm a bit miffed.
Fell from his 5th floor apartment building.
They get really clumsy, don't they?
Artur Pryakin, February 2025, found dead outside his office after having fallen from a 5th floor window. Vadim Stoikin, February 2025 again.
Let me guess. Window?
Ninth floor window. Ninth floor window.
Oh, okay,
I
well.
just, so it's
They don't
just,
even care anymore.
Okay. Lessons from this is clearly don't go near the window.
Don't be in a building with windows.
If Putin is in the zone, and keep your apartments on the ground floor. I think.
I mean, the ground floor apartments, they're not the top sellers.
I just gotta love somewhere that says yes, definitely suicide 5 times in the chest.
No, he fell from a window. Like the last guy? Duh. The contempt.
Yeah.
The absolute
and you know what's interesting? You know, obviously Russia, the Soviet Union, that area of the world has had some interesting governments over the many hundred years that have
I think it's millions.
have used violence in interesting ways. Let's just say that.
Employed diverse methods of politics.
But you know, in the Soviet Union, there's a whole bunch of we can't kill you, but you're never gonna find out. You will never, your family will never know which gulag you died in.
Yeah.
What
You never
bullet in
find
the
out
back
or
end.
be
You'll
found.
never
Yeah,
find.
yeah.
But it's like there's a semi-free media there that's fell from window.
No, we're reporting. This true. What killed him? Fall from a window.
Which one? Here's the thing. I was like, which one of those is more sinister? The one where you never find out about anyone disappearing,
Or you know it's bullshit.
or the one where they're happy to say, "Look, everybody falls from window."
Yeah, killed by 9 horses, mostly choking death. At least you know. Which is more, what would you prefer?
I just want to know when the cats are going to kill some people. Tiny little one just to drag us out. I was watching this lovely video last night of this lovely couple in Pennsylvania. They were a young hipstery sort of couple. But they'd taken out a loan to take over the world's oldest drive-in movie theatre.
That's awesome.
It had been running since the 1930s, had continually been going. The people who were selling, they weren't getting out of the industry. It was like they were retiring, which,
112 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And this young couple had taken it on, and they were talking about their struggles running this business. It's a lot to bring in a new movie, and they got to learn all of the stuff like that. You got to run the drive-in. It's the two of them running this drive-in theatre. But the thing that got me is that you mentioned the other day that there's a turn to analog.
Yeah.
People are returning to joys of the past.
Your vinyls, your books, your board games.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. What was that article about? But what's the driving force there about people wanting to have the experiences that we had in the 50s or generations ago? What's the driver there for this return to analog?
Well, I can tell you from a sentimental point of view, the first time I actually saw a whole porno movie was at a drive-in. I'm not kidding.
I don't know.
I can tell you more.
I feel like that's where we got to leave it. I feel like, what do we do with that?
Well, that's true. It was larger than life. I'm not going to lie.
Jesus Christ. A little bit of science is me, Will Grant, and him, Rod
Other
Lambert.
guy.
Well, look, someone's going to have to edit this. So,
Don't edit that bit. It's worth it.
Maybe we've got 5 minutes worth of podcast in here. Who knows?
If you have suggestions to make it less bad, a little bit of science at Gmail.
There is beer in this beer. I think this is an alcoholic beer.
What's our email address?